Hi, greetings everyone. I've prepared a very special reading for you all for this very strange campus literature week that we're having. Um, as you can see, I'm in isolation myself, so the background is not ideal, but just trust me, and we're gonna get through this. Just let's go along with it. We're in trying times, so we're getting through this. And on a serious note, I really want to wish everyone, the utmost of safety in these very strange times that we're living in. Stranger than fiction, even. Okay, so the name of this piece that I wrote, I try to make it as topical and timeless as possible. The name of it is Down with the Sickness. Okay? And I hope you all enjoy it. There's a sickness that is currently circulating throughout Trinidad. Many in our population are infected and they don't even know it. I may have it. Even you, dear listener, may have it. This sickness is blind to age, race, gender, religion, and social class. Its symptoms vary. In some cases, it's mild. In others, it's quite severe. But it's not new. No, 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 no. This sickness has always existed. The medical term for this condition is dotishness. What exactly is dotishness and how can we mitigate its effects? Well, listen on and you'll find out. What's the prognosis for dotishness? There's much debate whether or not dotishness is an innate biological trait or it develops following birth. In one camp, scientists say that individuals inherit the affliction from both parents. That fella born dotish is a phrase often used within academic circles when describing such an individual. Examples of people who are suspected to be naturally dotish are the UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson, US President Donald Trump, and our very own Minister of National Security, Stuart Young. In some cases, some people are even considered to be more virus than host, and this is reflected in the opposition Senator Wade Mark. On the other hand, scientists purport that dotishness is a malady that develops the more an individual comes into contact with an environment riddled with dotishness. Cases that support this theory are seen in religious folk who often attribute every single detail of their life to a divine power. Such people can often be seen gathering in large numbers when they are specifically warned not to. They believe in the power of God over science and will do their best to convince others that best vaccine against any virus is to close your eyes and pray the virus away. What are the symptoms of dotishness? Well, first, panicking during a time of crisis. The minute the specter of a major disaster looms over your country, an overwhelming anxiety takes over, and you find yourself in a manic state. Oftentimes, people suffering with these symptoms find themselves buying obscene amounts of toilet paper. If you currently have more than 3 bales of toilet paper at home, then most likely you're already infected. Circulating fake news. While knowledge is a good thing, too much knowledge can prove to be dangerous for someone afflicted with dotishness. You see, a dotish person is unable to differentiate fact from fiction and may find themselves circulating misinformation. Be on your guard if you find yourself dispensing articles or videos on social media from InfoWars, and then you justify your actions by saying, well, Alex Jones is given we had different perspective, who's to say the virus wasn't created in a lab by the New World Order? Third symptom, becoming a medical expert overnight. That's a follow-on symptom to the above. And many cases of persons suffering from dotishness are often quite vocal on issues of medical health care. After watching the movie Contagion or playing the mobile game Plague Inc., they somehow believe they are bastions of knowledge when it comes to pandemics. Examples of this can be seen on Facebook pages where the dotish medical expert lambasts anyone who urges caution and vigilance in times of crises. Be on the lookout for comments such as, drink some ginger tea and you will be good. In 2 months' time, everything going back to normal. You mustn't use them mask on them. Mask on them is only, germs only stick up on them mask. You see how Nikki man stick up on she behind? Yeah, germs stick up on it. Don't use mask. This thing only killing old people, you know. I young, I strong, I healthy. I had to live my life. Nothing going to happen to me. Or, any reason, alcohol is kill germs. So the best way to cure any virus is to go in the bar, call for a bottle of puncheon and a straw. Fourth symptom, ignoring major issues and warnings. This is also known as the God is a Trini symptom. Instead of pulling back and looking at the seriousness of a crisis, a person suffering from dotishness focuses entirely on him or herself. There's a respiratory virus going around that can cause fluid buildup in the lungs. Well, let me burn a little cigarette so I could calm my nerves now. Anyone can be a carrier for this flu-like virus. Let me head to Maracas and hold a lockdown fete. Giving advice to avoid unnecessary gatherings. Might as well go and take a little cruise with my family and them. And when we come back and we coughing like old dog, we're going to sue the government. Final symptom, repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. A normal, unaffected individual will observe the missteps of others and put things in place to avoid unnecessary calamity. They would look at how other countries handle times of crises and learn what they should and shouldn't do. On the other hand, a dotish person will do nothing to avoid putting themselves and others at risk. Such a person often justifies their actions by saying, nothing wrong with me, you know. Sometimes you just had a burn to learn. Instead of changing patterns of behavior and containing potential dangers before things spiral out of control, you simply repeat the same patterns of behavior exhibited by others who have failed in the past. So what's the treatment for dotishness? Well, if you're 30 years or older, you may remember that if you had roasting fever or you were sick like a dog, you'd be given a mixture of zebra peak, aloes, and honey to drink. Of course, this concoction would be taken after your backside was raised with a guava whip for getting sick in the first place. The pain of those beatings would then be assuaged by generous applications of tiger balm and shilling oil. And within a week, you'll be right back to business. The problem with dotishness is there isn't a panacea for it. At best, there are members of the population who eventually build up a type of resistance to it. Objective research coupled with critical thinking while consuming information is the best way to combat dotishness. Unfortunately, the grim reality is that many of us have this sickness inside of us and it will never go away. This is something I have learned to accept as part of my life, and I hope, dear listener, you would too. The fact is, we all know now what we are going to eventually die of. At this point, it's just a matter of what order we're going in. So why bother? Why worry? Or feel sad, or feel anxious, or feel afraid? As a species, our very lives are just a virus, birthed by chance in a prebiotic soup, hanging onto a ball of dirt, spinning in an infinite void. I say stare into the void, and when you see your face staring back, give it a sweet eye, and then laugh. All right, thank you.